You're listening to Confidence with Katie, a podcast created for ambitious, savvy women who are ready to embrace their inner badass. If you're ready to figure out exactly what you want and how to get there, well, I want you to jump on in and join me, speaker, executive coach, fire starter, and your podcast host, Katie Langford. Hello, gorgeous. Oh my goodness. I'm Katie. I am so excited that you are here with us of our very first podcast of 2019. This is Confidence with Katie, episode number 12, my 3 a.m. wake up call. You know, several years ago, I was introduced to this idea of having a word of the year. Perhaps you've seen it or heard of it. Maybe you are even doing it, right? Instead of setting a resolution, what you do is you pick a word, and that word helps ground you. It gives you focus. It gives you something to really think about, and maybe something that you want for yourself or for your family or your business for that particular upcoming year. Well, last year I chose the word confidence. And just having that word in front of me all the time, it made me pay attention to when and where I was seeing confidence. It helped me look at confidence within my clients and the women that I serve. It also helped me look at my own confidence. And it also helped me look for when and where I was seeing a lack of confidence. And when I was seeing that lack of confidence, that was one of the reasons for why I decided to launch this podcast, Confidence with Katie. It was also the foundation for my TEDx talk last November. So this week, I'm going to share with you what my word of the year is. And I think that my word of the year is going to have a lot of impact and get you to thinking about some things that you might want to consider this year. I'm also going to challenge you to come up with your own word and then share that back with us in the comments section of our podcast, or share with us on Facebook or Instagram. But before we get into all of that, I want to share my badass inspiration of the week. I kind of have to chuckle because I'm so excited about this. My badass inspiration of the week is Miriam Midge Maisel of Amazon's The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And I'm sure that there are some of you who are cracking up. I don't know if you love her as much as I do. I hope that you do. Then there's some of you who might be thinking, what in the heck is Katie talking about? So for months and months and months, I've had friends try and get me to watch The Marvelous Mrs. Maisel. And I told them that it wasn't going to happen. It did not seem like my kind of thing. I thought it was a musical, and I'm not into musicals. Sorry for all the musical lovers out there. And I finally agreed. One of my friends said, listen, this is right up your alley. Her character is amazing, and she stands for what you stand for. And she's going out and living this life that she's dreaming of, and you need to watch this. So I became a little bit obsessed over the holiday break. I have to admit that I actually watched both seasons twice. I watched it one time by myself, and then another time I got Shane to watch it with me, and he actually fell in love with it too. And what I love about this character is that she is doing life in her own way. And I think it's really difficult. For those of you who don't know the story, it's set in the 1950s, late 1950s. And Midge is a woman who is married, and she is Jewish. She lives on the Upper West Side, and it's all about kind of her story. And she goes through some big stuff in the first episode, and that kicks it all off. But what I love about Midge is that she's unapologetically doing the things that she knows she needs to do. And yet at the same time is looking at her family and looking at society and questioning whether or not those are the right things. And I think that her story is so something to resonate with so many of us, because I think that we do that, right? We have these big dreams and goals, and we can see ourselves succeeding and doing the things that we want. And then we also have these societal pressures, family pressures, societal norms. And so I love this this character. I love this show. And y'all, I am so freaking grateful that Hollywood is finally taking chances with more thought-provoking, multi-dimensional, real women as characters, flaws and all. And Midge is all about this fresh start in her life and where she is in this season. So I think just like Midge, we are all in the beginning of a new season as well. That's the magic of when the calendar turns from one day or 1 year to the next year. And y'all, holy moly, I cannot even believe that it is 2019. I still feel like we just celebrated 1999 New Year's. So that seems like yesterday, but it's not. It is a new year. And because of that, well, I need a new word. So over the past few weeks, I've been toying around with what my word for 2019 would be. I've been really thinking about what is it that I want to accomplish in 2019? What do I want for my professional and personal life? What do I want for my family life with Shane? And where am I trying to go, right? What is it that I'm trying to do? And so I considered things like brave, bold, flow. I even really got to the place where I thought that Marie Forleo's word, figure outable, was the thing to do. So for those of you who don't know who Marie Forleo is, she's just amazing. I highly recommend marieforleo.com, marietv.com. She's just freaking awesome. And she has this idea that everything is figure outable, right? So if we come up to something, whether it's a project or a relationship or something in our career, no matter what it is, when we get stuck, she just says, well, everything's figure outable. And I thought, oh gosh, that is going to be my word. But I still wasn't quite convinced. So I do what I normally do. For those of you who are not my Facebook friends, I ask lots of questions on Facebook. And I always say curious mind because I have a curious mind. So I asked my Facebook friends, what is their word of the year going to be? And I got so many responses. I think we're up to like 70 responses. And this is just in my private Facebook friends. So this isn't on Coach Katie Facebook group. But I heard things like consistency, listen, explore, health, hustle, breathe, intentional, abundance. Those were just a couple of examples. But there were so many incredible words. And what I love about this idea of the word of the year is that it can mean something that is universal. So I know a lot of people that I've talked to have used the word health. And so that kind of has a universal connotation, although I think that it could be some things different to other people than it could to you or to me. And that's what I love about the word of the year. Just like so many other parts of our lives, when we talk about our dreams and our goals, your word of the year does not have to make sense to anyone but you, right? This is your reminder. It's your grounding point. It's your focus. So you could pick a word and it can mean nothing to anyone else, or the way that you're using it can mean nothing to anyone else, but it could mean something for you. And so I love that. I just love that idea that we are all unique humans, that we all come to this place as ever growing, ever expanding humans, and we look through life with our own lens, and our word has to mean something to us. That's it. So with that said, sometimes I share my word, but most of the time it really is just for me. It's something that I put on my vision board. It's something that I hang in my office. I'm a big fan of the giant sticky notes. So it's just something that I can see, but it's not something I really share. Well, I think that many of you also know, if you follow my emails or follow me on Facebook or Instagram or even in this podcast, that I tend to struggle with insomnia. And I really don't know what it is. It's been happening to me since I was a child. I've talked to multiple doctors about it, and it's just who I am. And sometimes I go through long periods where I will never have insomnia. I'll sleep through the night. And then I'll go through long periods where I will be wide awake more than halfway through the night. And it's oftentimes like this that my brain is going crazy. And it typically happens around 3 a.m. to 4 a.m. And well, as it happens, I was awakened just a couple of nights ago at 3 a.m. with my word. And the case really is my words came to me. You see, I, like you, am ambitious and savvy. I am a woman with big and bold dreams for my business and my life and for 2019. And in fact, this June, it will be 4 years since I walked away from my safe, and I put that in air quotes, my safe career to do my own thing and start my own business. And it was at 3 a.m. that my words completely hit me like a Mack truck. Act as if. Act as if. I kept hearing these words over and over. Act as if. And I started hearing myself say, Katie, are you acting as if? Are you acting as if what you say you want is what you want? When you act as if, it means that you've already put yourself mentally in the place that you want to be. Sitting here at 3 a.m., at this point, it might have been 3:30. I don't know. But it was between 3 and 5. I know I was up for 2 hours. What I realized was that I had been playing it small in 2018. I realized that how I act is not fully in alignment with what I say that I want. And I'll give you an example. I say that I want, and y'all, this is the biggest goal. This is the boldest dream on the top of my goal list. I know it's not going to be the biggest thing that I ever accomplish because once I get there, I know that there will be something new, but it's on my bucket list. I've been saying this for years. I want to speak in front of a crowd of 10,000 people. I can close my eyes and picture myself standing in front of this audience, this massive audience, and I get goosebumps just thinking about it. But anyone who's ever spoken in front of a room full of 10,000 people will tell you that they did not start out that way. In fact, you do lots and lots and lots and lots of speaking engagements before you ever get to an audience that size. And at 3 a.m., it hit me that while I have been saying that this is my goal, I certainly did not act as if it was in 2018. I didn't do the work that it takes to book as many speaking engagements as possible. Now, did I speak? Of course I did. In fact, I did my first national conference keynote speech. I gave a TEDx talk. But I did fewer speaking engagements in 2018 than I did in 2017. And frankly, I did not push myself out of my comfort zone to try to book more. So I started asking myself, do I really want this goal or not? And if I do, why am I not acting as if this is my goal? Why am I not acting as if this is what I want? You see, if I was regularly speaking to groups of 10,000 plus people, I would be acting very differently than I do today. If my podcast really was being downloaded 10,000 times a month, like I dream that it will, I would be acting differently. If every time I rolled out an online masterclass and I had 1,000 students enroll at one time, I would be acting differently. And so what happened is at 3 a.m., I realized that I have to act as if I have everything that I want and everything that I say I want. Now, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying that you should be someone that you aren't. I'm not saying that you should look at this place that you want to get to, this success that you want to achieve, this dream that you want to accomplish, and start acting like a jerk, right? This isn't about power. This isn't about money, at least not for me. Listen, if money is the thing that you want, then act as if you have it, right? But I'm saying act in an authentic way. That how would you change your actions? What would you do differently if you had everything that you say that you wanted? And kudos for those of you who are saying, I already act as if I have everything I want. Or I have everything I want and I act that way. Kudos to you. Many of us, I don't think that we're there. What I'm saying is that if you want to progress beyond where you are right now in your life and your career, you probably should think about acting as if you already have it. Let me ask you, do you ever say you want to work on big projects that are highly visible within your company, but you never actually have the conversations with your boss to say you're interested? You never actually raise your hand in meetings? You never actually do anything above the status quo? Do you say that you want a promotion? You want to be a director or a vice president or a chief officer or a partner, but you're not putting 100% into your work? You show up late. You're inconsistent with your work. Do you say you want to be in a happy, healthy relationship? But every time the last jerk that broke your heart calls, you answer? Or you meet someone that you're not fully committed to, that you don't want to be in a relationship with, and you allow that person to take up time and energy and space? Do you say that you want to be debt-free, but you can't seem to stop yourself from going on Nordstrom.com and buying all the shoes and clothes? Listen, much like how we build confidence, which I've talked about throughout the podcast, we talked about this all the way back to episode 1. I talked about it in my TEDx talk. We don't get confidence and then go do the hard thing, right? We do the hard thing and then we grow our confidence. And what I'm saying is I believe that we have to act as if we already have the promotion. We have to act as if we already are leading the big project. We have to act as if we are already debt-free. We have to act as if the business that we have is exactly what we want it to look like. So I ask you, what do you want to accomplish in 2019? Is it a promotion? Is it a new job? Is it leading something big within your organization? Is it making your side hustle your full-time gig? Is it being fit and healthy? What are your big, bold goals for 2019? Are you acting as if what you say you want is what you want? Or are you playing it small? Are you okay with status quo? And are you okay with just humming along? In this world, it is really easy to just go along. It's easy to play it small. So many of us, we consider that safety. It's easy to stay in the lane of status quo, right? When you're in your own lane, there's no competition. When you're in the lane of status quo, that place is crowded. Crowded. Here's what I know about you. You, my friend, you are bold and ambitious and savvy, and you have big dreams and big goals. And I believe that you can create the life that you want. So I want to ask you, where in your life right now do you need to act as if you already have what you say you want? And what are 1 or 2 or 3 action steps that you need to take to make sure that you're acting as if? I will just be completely transparent and honest with you. I will tell you that my dream of being a highly sought after, highly paid public speaker is going to take work. And personally, I have made the promise to myself and to Shane that 1 hour every single weekday, I'm going to set aside just to working on this. Many days it'll be more than this, and it's not an average. So if I'm practicing for a speech for 4 hours, I have an additional hour that I need to be out looking for speaking engagements. I've got to put the work in. And I'm going to act as if I already have what I want. And that also goes to the next time I have a speaking engagement with 50 people, I'm going to prepare as if 10,000 people are in the room. If you are in Dallas, Fort Worth, and you need some help figuring out what action steps you need to take to make your 2019 goals a reality, I want to invite you to sign up for our Confidently Rock Your 2019 live workshop. It is this Saturday, January 12th from 9:30 to 12:30. We're going to put our link in the resources, but don't wait because seats are almost sold out and registration is ending Thursday, if not before then, in case we sell out before then. But I really implore you, 2 things. Where do you need to start acting as if? And what word could you use this year that could help ground you, focus you, center you, prepare you to get exactly what you want out of 2019? Go do those things, sister. Thanks for listening to Confidence with Katie. I hope this episode helped you feel more empowered to take control of your dream life and dream career. Go start igniting those fires and embrace your inner badass. Until next time, badasses.